was in the 7th grade, going complete ape shit in my brain. I absolutely hated everyone and everybody in the whole school. But when the first and second bullets rang out while I was in class, it changed my perspective. All of a sudden, everybody was my friend, and I wished them nothing but good health. I became worried, so instead of hiding under our desks, we hid in the janitorial closet in my 7th period history class. The closet was packed, so me and a few other students hid against the wall, and we all pretended we were dead. There was a clash and a lot of commotion outside of our classroom. A 3rd and 4th bullet was shot. The girls who I once loathed were now crying and screaming, and I was comforting them. I, who hated these very girls, held them and calmed them. Someone had gotten injured. Some teachers ran through the hallway with a student. There was a long pause. We were unsure if it was safe to get up and check, but my teacher did it for us anyway. Here's the sick and twisted part. There was a list of those whom angered the shooter. I was friends with this boy. He had written me on the good list, which consisted of very few people. We did not know at the time who it was. He was masked and hooded, but he'd written a suspicious Facebook and Tumblr post about it. We conversed about Columbine and most recently, Newtown, and we'd made plans about surviving a school shooting and how to save ourselves from an incident. When it had occurred, I was too planning to hold a retribution. This event had affected my entire life. I'm nice to everyone, a reborn Buddhist, invested in some military training, and took on some weapon training as well. I studied Columbine and Virginia Tech and plan to become a criminal psychologist. We were playing a game called Ich bin tot, a German game called I Am Dead, when the intercom clicked.
"This is a lockdown,"
the principal said. "Nice," I whispered to my neighbor. "Hopefully we get to skip English class next."
"This is not a drill,"
he continued.
"Please secure your doors and do not leave under any circumstances."
Usually real lockdowns happen because someone in the neighborhood had a gun. In Wyoming, this was rarely a cause for concern. More than once we'd been under lockdown due to a misunderstanding. My German teacher turned on a cassette that played Don't Worry Be Happy on loop. Yes, this was 2012. Yes, it was a cassette. And no, I do not know why this was the only cassette he had. So we kept playing. As we entered hour 2, it got less funny. Everyone got a bit antsy. One of us pulled out a deck of cards and we tried playing some different games, but it didn't help. Something was wrong. Don't worry, the song droned. Be happy. A few kids took to the internet.
"Anyone know what's up with the NCHS lockdown?"
Details emerged slowly, achingly slow. The school district Facebook revealed that all the schools in the area were locked down. No hint as to why. Texts were sent out. Texts were sent in.
"No, we're fine,"
we told our parents.
"We don't know anything."
Finally it came around that it was a shooter, a real shooter. A real shooter who shot someone. I swallowed. Suddenly, I Am Dead wasn't such a fun game anymore. No one knew where he was, who he'd shot, or how many were dead. My teacher stopped the cassette player. The room got quiet. A phone buzzed, breaking the silence. One kid got a text from his mom who worked at the community college up the street. "There's a shooter on campus," he read aloud. No idea where he was, who he'd shot, or how many were dead. My teacher went pale. He grasped for the phone and tried to call his wife, a counselor at the college. He needed to know that she was safe. Lord bless us, she picked up the phone. But neither she nor anyone else knew where he was, who he'd shot, or how many were dead. I eyed the classroom door. We were just a few blocks away, mere minutes from where a man had shot someone. How long before that man came knocking? Was he on a rampage? What does his gun look like? Would I see his face before I died? How many of us could hide in the cabinets, behind the bookcases, under the tables? Could we bar the door? Would it even matter if we tried? By hour 3, I felt nauseated. When would it end? We kept digging for information, but there was none. No one knew where he was, who he'd shot, or how many were dead. The intercom crackled.
Lockdown is over. Please proceed to your C block class. Thank you for your patience.
No details, just a thanks. It left the rest of us scrambling to assemble the pieces, asking the biggest questions. Where is he? Who'd he shoot? And how many are dead? Later that day, the local newspaper would give us the answers. It was targeted. A son had killed his father, the professor, after killing his father's girlfriend earlier that day at their home. No gun. His father's girlfriend was stabbed outside of their home, barefoot, still in her pajamas, and then he used a bow on his father, piercing his head with a well-aimed arrow. While students fled the classroom, he stabbed himself, then stabbed his father in the chest one last time. Both were dead at the scene. No students were harmed. Even so, we all crept around the school a little slower that day, watching, waiting. Everything felt surreal. Events like that burst your bubble and you realize maybe you aren't safe at all. Maybe this time it was targeted, but next time it's not. Next time it's a gun and not a bow. And next time it's school kids instead of professors. Maybe next time it's us instead of them. It's the suspense of a lockdown that gets you. The hours of hearing nothing, seeing nothing, knowing nothing. But you set that aside pretty easily. It's what caused the lockdown that sticks in your head. It's playing I Am Dead, while a few blocks away, father and son grapple one last time. It's something you never forget. So, freshman year, high school. At this point, mass shootings at school was the scare. We had drills for this kind of thing, but usually it was well known that it was coming. Until we didn't know it was coming. It was third period. Science class, maybe 10:30 a.m. The alarms go off.
Intruder in the building. Lockdown. All students report to the closest classroom. All staff, lock all classroom entries. This is not a drill.
I look at the teacher. I see him hurriedly lock the door and put a sticker on the window. He puts up the safety bar on the door and turns off the lights. Everyone, to the back corner here, now. Oh shit, this isn't a drill. All the students scramble to the corner. Before I go, I instinctively grab a rock that was on the table. Earth science for the win. If this is real, I'm not going down without a fight. The room gets silent. You couldn't even hear the students breathing. Then footsteps. No voices, just steps. I hear the door rattle. And then I hear what sounded like a shoulder thud on the door, trying to push it in. A blurry figure appears in the faded and pixelated window. Then it leaves. My hand was holding onto the rock, ready to throw it and rush. After about 5 minutes, the principal gets on the intercom.
Well done, everyone. Everyone followed orders and the intruder was not able to get anyone. This was a real-life scene that could happen anytime. All classes resume normally. Thank you.
I hear the teacher breathe a sigh of relief. The lights come on, the door unlocks, and we return to our seats. We talk a bit. I can see some of the students were actually afraid, and some pretended to already know, but I didn't see anyone do what I did. My teacher says, "Oh, by the way, Vang." I look at him. "You can put that rock back now." Everyone looks at me. I put the rock back where it was, then return to my seat. I was ready for this situation. The rest, sheep, deer in headlights. And that's the gist of it. I'm gonna make this quick. This song is pretty fucking cool. I found it on YouTube to go along with this video, and I'm gonna put the link in the description below. Just check it out and vibe along at the end, because this episode was kind of heavy. So I love y'all. Cheers.